being in that stuck period, not really knowing like, okay, what's that next purpose layer? Like, okay, this chapter of my life is closed. What's the next chapter? And finding that next chapter, it can be difficult.
Definitely. And I feel like it's difficult for so many people. And it's not just you. Like, I had the same thing. I feel like so many of y'all probably went through the same thing. It may not be the exact...
Yo, y'all already know what's good. We back another beautiful episode. Yes, sir, it's that Island God Talk podcast. You already know who's in here, man. Yes, sir, it's Kingmeechyyy in here. Yes, sir, we back another day, halfway through February. How you feeling, man?
You know me, man. I feel great as always. You know, it's another day. God woke me up this morning, so I'm doing pretty good. I cannot complain.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know Sir J.U. feeling real good in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got the P.O. box coming soon, just in case y'all want to send your boy some shirts or something. So I don't got to be no Sir J.U. But hey, if you got something right now, sweet clothing brand, hit my DM. Y'all already know Instagram's right there on the screen. Hit my DM if you want to send your boy a shirt. I might just wear it, you know.
He not. I don't think.
No, I'm saying walking billboard though. I might be able to help y'all out. You know, send me something. Put a little cash in a box. I definitely wear it. You know, like.
In real life.
Yeah.
But we are back on another episode, man. Episode, and like we can get right in this thing. What's first on the topics today, J.U.?
So first is gonna be, I guess I'll tie in like my personal story with it. Like I've been hearing like. Just men, like especially nowadays, they feel like they stuck in the situation or stuck in life to where like they don't know what to do next. And something I can relate to a lot, and a lot of people gonna be able to relate to like the story I have on this. I feel like so. Nah, I grew up basically my whole life playing football, much like my homie over here, Meechyyy.
Yeah, I was just a little better though, right?
Nah, never. But growing up like that, you know, if you're dedicating your early childhood to something and you really feel strongly about something, it's like, to me, if I didn't have league dreams, like NFL dreams, I wouldn't have been playing football. Like, you know
I definitely.
Like, there's some dudes that's on the team that just want a jersey. I know you play with niggas like that. Like, they ain't really like.
I did.
They just out there for the jersey. They might think it's go get them some cheeks or something. But if you really love that shit, then football was life, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever sport you can tie that into, it was life. And for every guy, no matter what, there's always possibilities that the dream won't come true, whether you get injuries like my story or traumatic stuff happens in people's lives to where they can't play anymore.
Health grades,
health reasons, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that can derail that journey. And I feel like the later it happens for you, like if it happens while you're in college or after your senior year of high school or or towards your end of your college years and you trying to see if you have a chance to declare for the draft or whatever, like if it happens during that time where you can't play that sport no more and this was your plan A and you wasn't really interested, like you may have other things but you didn't put your all into those things because you were putting your all into whatever sport it was. For me it was football. So I definitely went through a time after I stopped playing of like finding myself and being like in that stuck period. And during that time it was probably like some of the worst time of my life. Like I tried to like find it, like I was already kind of like dibbling and dabbling with the streets, but like football was keeping me out of trouble a lot. So then it became like, well, I'm not doing this, might as well go full force over this way. And getting yourself in situations whether like you start doing bad things to people and you are like, because the main focus is money and to find that freedom that you were trying to get through football. And you can go down some dark paths being in that stuck period, not really knowing like, okay, what's that next purpose layer? Like, okay, this chapter of my life is closed. What's the next chapter? And finding that next chapter, it can be difficult.
Definitely. And I feel like it's difficult for so many people. And it's not just you. Like, I had the same thing. I feel like so many of y'all probably went through the same thing. It may not be the exact football, but mine was football too. Like, playing, like, that's really all you know. Like, playing football, I'm going to the league. That's all you really can think about.
That's the vibes. Like, that's how you feel.
Definitely. That's the vibes you're on. And then when that stops for some whatever reason, it's really about finding yourself. I feel like, but that's where you really find yourself and find out who you are, like, as a person. For me,
and a lot of times people don't take the time to listen to themselves. They listen to. For me, it was like, all right, I'm listening to all these outside influences. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do this. But I didn't take. It took me a while to find the time to think, like, what does JU want to do?
Definitely. And I feel like you didn't ask yourself that right then. Obviously,
I didn't. I went through months of being influenced by other shit. Actually, years. I went through about 2 years of being influenced by other shit. Just kind of going with what I feel like, dabbling with a lot of instant gratification type of things. And yeah, like, now I say, like, put myself in a lot of positions where it's very easily like that if karma wasn't in my favor, that I wouldn't even be here today talking to y'all right now, like, type shit.
Definitely. And that's just something you learn from, like, and I feel like as people we all got to, but it's different for everybody. Me, when I went through that phase, that's literally when I got into self-improvement. Like, cause mine was a little different though. When I started playing football, well, they didn't have a football team, cause I went to Palmetto. Like, I went to South Carolina to play football. It's like a little prep school. Then I went to ODU. When I got to ODU, it was COVID. They just did not have a season at all that year. And then around that time, it was my first year in college. My bitch then broke up with me. I was down bad as a motherfucker.
Like, so much. It feels like once that shit happens, it feels like you're trying to find your identity. You get in this depressive state because it's like a snowball.
Literally.
Once one bad thing happens, this shit just keeps coming until you find a way to, like, how to stop that shit. And, like, now I understand the area between those purpose layers and how to deal with it. It's like, sit still, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go out with your friends and just put yourself in these positions and things that you wouldn't normally do. Sit still, stare at the fucking wall, sit in silence in the dark and listen to yourself. And also go experience things. Go outside your city, go over here, go to nature, and go put yourself around places and things that you wouldn't normally have put yourself around, and then it'll come to you, like that next thing that you want to do. Me, it took a while because I was dabbling with the bullshit. It took a while for me to find self-improvement. I didn't think myself needed improvement until I found myself in a jail cell praying for God for a second chance. Now I said, that's when I found out I needed self-improvement. And after that, I did find self-improvement, and I figured myself out. I'm like, bro, I've always been a hustler. I've always been a businessman. I've always been somebody that, like, yeah, I'm interested in certain things, whether it's art, this or that, but I always the type of person where my biggest work of art is going to be my bank account. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like the type of dude I was, and it's because I like that freedom that money gives. So it took me a long time to find, like, the right path and how to do that. But I had a lot of time to myself, and I think it was that next summer after being locked up, I was working at the pool, and it's just me and my thoughts and different books and watching videos and stuff to get me through the time, because it's not like I'm literally watching an empty pool most of the shift. So I'm saying I had time to listen to myself.
Definitely, and that's really all you need is time. It was the same thing for me, because you got to think about it, I'm sad as fuck in my room because really it's COVID. Everybody said you can't really go out nowhere because everything's really closed. All I had was time just to sit and think. I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna start a business. Simple as that.
Work on yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like COVID was a good time to be in that space because you left with just you and your thoughts. A lot of people, the reason why we like escapism, whether it's video games, drugs, alcohol, whatever, like any type of escapism, it takes you away from those problems, and you feel like it's stuff you don't have to worry about. But then when you get off that game or you come down from that high, the shit is still there. So it's like, not dabbling with the escapism, you're gonna be forced to deal with your shit.
Every single trip, you're definitely will. That's why I said, like, granted, a lot of people died, so yeah, COVID was maybe a bad year. But, like, for me, COVID was kind of what I needed at that point in my life, like, because it forced me to be alone, like, to be by myself, like, not check your phone every single day.
And it's good, like literally all bad. Like it's a hard concept to understand, especially when you are in those stuck places or in those dark places. It's hard to understand, but in all bad is good. It's some type of good in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like even me going through what I went through, being locked up, under false accusations and stuff like that. It's like that shit changed my life. If I don't know if I went through that, if I didn't go through that, I probably would have been on the same mode as like, oh, I don't need self improvement. I felt like I knew everything. I felt like I was at the pinnacle of my being. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I didn't scratch the surface of the things because I was limiting myself so much. I thought I had to always be the suave, cool dude. I'm playing sports, athletic dude, and somewhat, a little bit of a gangster type nigga. Like I thought that's all I had to do. I was limiting myself to that. So once the football got taken away, some of the clout got taken away, some of the bitches got taken away, I was left to really deal with, okay, am I going to improve myself or I'm just going to sit in this shit and keep feeling stuck and praying and hoping for somebody to come save me out of this type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I had to save myself. And that's the thing. That's the mindset you gotta have when you're in that stuck place. Anybody, I don't care who you are, is that I have to save myself. I gotta take accountability because I'm here in this place because of myself. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, because there's nobody coming to help you. That was my biggest quote. Like, there's nobody coming to help you. Like, simple as that.
I don't care how much your religion preaches that somebody is coming to save you. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, nobody coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to say it, especially as a man. Like, if you're a woman, you might have a chance a dude might scoop you up out of you know what I'm saying? You might have it's a chance you might do get a Cinderella story. That's why girls believe in that shit. But men is like, ain't nobody coming to slide a shiny slip on your feet. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go get it yourself.
Exactly. And I'm glad you said that, because at the end of the day, like, you could have went back to that same person though. You didn't have to focus on self-improvement. You couldn't be like, oh, I'm gonna just keep doing it. I feel like that's what a lot of people do. Like, even after they go through stuff, they still go back to them old ways, like the old things, like, or try to cling on to the past so bad. Like, we was talking about this the other day, like football, like when all you can really talk about is what y'all did, not what we doing. Like, if you and your friends, y'all hanging out and all y'all can talk about is the past, what we did, y'all probably shouldn't be hanging out that much.
Yeah, you shouldn't, because as you get older, like, your network is so important. Y'all need to be exchanging new ideas and having new shit to talk about. Like, reminiscing is cool every once in a while, and I say everybody like to do it. It puts you back in those modes and those emotions, and like those things come back. But it's not helping anything that's going on in the present day. I promise you.
It is not. It absolutely not. It's not. One, it's not helping, and two, it's like, why don't you go try to find better glory days? Like, there's more glory days out here. I feel like people feel like they've been in their prime in high school. If your prime was in high school, I feel bad. You lived a piss poor life, bro.
Oh yeah, and like literally, and it's always that quote like, oh damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that shit is so important. One of my homies actually said that to me one time. We kind of got into it. You know what I'm saying? Because we was playing sports and the conversation got heated, and you know what I'm saying? We started talking about old shit, and he was like, all right, what you doing now? And this was in that time when I'm in that stuck period in my life, and that shit, like that, we could have fell out over that, and this could bring us right into our next shit about like being able to take shit. And like dish out what you get back type shit. But yeah, he told me that, and the conversation just got heated. You know what I'm saying? We just kept trying to one up each other. I ended up saying something a little too crazy, and he ended up going home and leaving. But it's like right after that, I'm like that's not how it should have went. So I texted him, I'm like, yo, like, bro, this wasn't that serious. Me and you, we both was trying to one up each other in this situation. It's just some shit niggas do, know what I'm saying, from time to time. It was no reason to have a falling out for. Some niggas type shit like that, if somebody tell you, damn, homie, in high school you was the man, homie, you probably would never be cool with them like that. But you probably would never be cool with them again. But I'm a nigga that like to talk shit, so it's like, if I can't dish it, I shouldn't be saying nothing to nobody. I mean, if I can't take it, I shouldn't be saying nothing.
Exactly. And I feel like that's what everything, like, and I feel like that's stuff you got to learn as a little kid. Like your parents need to teach you that. Like throwing a punch. Don't throw a punch if you can't take a punch. Just like don't throw an insult if you can't take one. And I feel like that's how most of the shit like get to another level. Like somebody say a joke, then you say something, then they say something back. Now you might not like what they said. Now it's a problem. Nah, you can't do that. You can't do that at all.
Yeah, because it's like at the end of the day, it just shows like you're just like one of those bullies. Like at that point, if you just want to be able to talk to people how you want to talk to them, but not expect to get that energy back. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like, it just shows weakness. It shows chinks in your armor. And it's like, oh, that's the reason. Like, some people, the reason why they talk so much shit is because they can't take it back. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's like, it got to be that balance, especially among guys. Women, they probably ain't going to be able to do this shit as much. But men, it's like, I feel like it's healthy for us to get criticized and talk shit to every once in a while, because that's what the shit that makes us more competitive and want to improve ourselves as well amongst our peers. Like, if all my homies, they all got 10 million, I got 3 million. Yeah, I want you to talk shit to me. Like, yeah, but you still only got 3 M's. Like, come on now. We all what is that? That's 10 figures, right? They got double digit M's. It's 10 figures.
I'm you the mathematician, bro.
Nah, that ain't 10 figures. That's 8. So boom, I got 7 figures. They got 8. You know what I'm saying? I got 7 figures, and they clowning me about that, but that's motivation right there. Now I'm trying to get to 9 before they get to 9. So
definitely, and that does. And I'm glad you talk about being a bully, because you got to know who you're talking to as well. Like, if he doesn't really talk shit to you, you really shouldn't talk shit to him.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. But I mean, I feel like you're only gonna be as strong as your weakest link. So if your weakest homie can't take shit, then it's gonna be a problem. Like, nah, I'm saying, like, one of my homies who I would call, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about. That I would call like the more so weakest link among us physically. Like, and he used to be the most weakest link as far as when it comes to like talking shit. But as far as like me and my other homies, we don't let up on him. We don't treat him any differently than we treat the rest of us. So he developed it to where now if you call him a bitch, he gonna call you a bitch right back, and that's just what it is. Know what I'm saying? That's masculine energy reciprocating at that point. It's not, oh, I was just fucking with him. I said his fucking body shape weird, and now he's getting insecure and want to go hide in the corner, don't want to come around us no more. Like, to me, I don't even want to be around you if you like. I don't want to be able to be around men I gotta step on eggshells and shit around. Like, we can have fun. I just feel like being able to take what you dish out is a part of being a masculine man.
Definitely. And it's something, and like, we all got things you got to work on. Because me, like, growing up, you couldn't, like, I used to tell my friends, like, don't even joke with me type shit. Because I be the nigga, I'm going to take it there, I'm going to beat your fucking ass. You joke too. Like, you say some shit that hurt my feelings, oh, we fight. Granted, I wasn't going to be the one that's going to dish you though.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes I've been around dudes in situations where, like, yeah, it might go a little too far. Maybe they do want to scrap, but a certain group of homies I had growing up, like, I was used to wondering, like, these niggas always fighting each other but always end up back cool. But that's just how they were. Like, if a situation got too far, one would call the other one out, they'd probably scrap and wrestle around for a little bit. The other guys would break it up, and that's just how it would be. But a lot of dudes, because of this social media, the extra hypersensitive world, the shit just don't work like that. But in the world teaches you to be hypersensitive. Like, if I grew up in 2000, I say I probably, like, I understand you being like that young. Like, nah, don't come too hard at me type shit. Like, but like, now I see, like, you're more the dude that, nah, I'm saying, you gonna just throw it back. You know what I'm saying? And to me, it's like you already lost. If somebody can say something that gets you mad and you want to put hands on them and they haven't touched you at all, they got control over you now. They know exactly how to control on you. Or they know, oh, all I gotta say is his elbows look weird and he gonna come off. Like, that's all I gotta do to turn him up. Now I got control of him. I know exactly how to handle him.
That's exactly that. And I was like, I got a friend like that too. And you want to know what helped me get over that? I had a friend that would literally always talk shit to me.
Oh yeah.
Simple as that. He would just talk shit, but he was my best friend though. Love that nigga to this day.
I seen some shit. It was like a group of guys, and they was taking a picture to send to the other friend because the other friend was far away, and they was like, who's the one? Like all the other guys, they just waving in the picture. Then you got the one guy, he's sticking his middle finger up to the dude, and like you can tell who's the dude's best friend. It's the one sticking the middle finger up. You know what I'm saying? Because they got that comfortable relationship where it's like, yeah, you like, nigga, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You can say it right back, and it just is what it is. Like it's not nothing deeper there. We're not about to get emotional. You said fuck me.
Exactly.
Like, damn, I'm about to kill this nigga. I'm about to leave my gun right now. Like, nah, we not handling shit like that. So being more masculine as a man and being able to take what you dish, you're gonna be able to be around higher level guys and like be respect. You're gonna be more respected because it was like, you know what I'm saying, you might walk into a room, it might be a business meeting, it might be just a meet up with a bunch of dudes, and all y'all are like the best chess players in the world, and y'all get in the room and someone throws a joke at you. Now you emotional and don't want to play chess no more. Those guys, they see your weakness and they're not gonna want to be around you. You know.
Exactly. And I feel like
don't let nobody play with you. You know what I'm saying? That's why you say shout shit back.
I was about to say, literally, like, don't let nobody disrespect you. If they legit disrespecting you, then you got to handle that accordingly.
It's like niggas know the boundaries when it comes to shit talking. Like, nah, I'm saying, we're not about to, like, we're talking about each other, and we know, like, the boundaries to go, you know what I'm saying? If a nigga would, like if you was in a wheelchair, I wouldn't make paraplegic jokes to you unless you made them about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was making jokes about yourself and you was the type of nigga to laugh at it, then like, but if not, like, I don't know, like that's a sensitive subject. He might roll over my foot if I do that. Like
in real life.
Yeah.
That was funny, but as simple as that. So never let nobody like disrespect you or play with your top. But like hold your own. If nigga talking shit, talk shit back. And I feel like it only helps you so people can't get under your skin. Cause like I was saying, my friend, he used to get under my skin so bad. Oh my goodness, I used to hate it. But now like you can pretty much say anything to me as long as it's not disrespectful. I'm like, I don't care. Like you not talking to me. To be honest, I don't even think about like you're talking to me, like you're just talking. Like
literally, that's one of the 4 agreements. Like, don't take anything personal.
That's
what
I'm
saying. Literally, like you definitely shouldn't be taking it personal, especially if you know, like, oh, these are my brothers. I feel like this person, he might kill for me. He might die with me if we in some shit. Nah, I'm saying, if you feel like it's a person like that, then I'm saying, or you will have certain like Jeffrey style friends that they, I'm saying, they just trying to down you on everything all the time. Every time you come around to trying to downplay the things you got going on, like that's a lot different. So being able to distinguish between like friendly banter going back and forth and somebody just hating on you, that's also good, because that motherfucker, like some people, they say hating things in a joking way, like, or even like me, I try not to call nobody shit love. Like
I was thinking,
like if someone be like, oh, I seen your little podcast.
I
me,
slap
that's
the fuck out
disrespectful.
of him. I ain't gonna lie. I'm waiting for a nigga to say that shit. No, fuck that shit. That shit disrespectful as fuck. I've been waiting. I ain't gonna lie. You say what, nigga? Yeah,
it's like,
we gonna have to throw them bitches.
Yeah, like to me, I would just correct them. Like, hey, ain't nothing over here. We all big. It's all big shit. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like see that, like it is disrespectful. So whether like however you handle disrespect is how you handle it. You know what I'm saying? To be, I was like, all right, like I just know they're ignorant and they know, like they probably don't even know they hating right now. But I'm gonna let them know, like, you sound like a hater when you talking about calling somebody shit love. And if it turns to a fight, if I trigger them off me saying that and they want smoke, then it just is what it is after that. But yeah, don't let nobody downplay anything you got going on. Like everything big, and try to do that when you talking about other people's stuff. Like, cause I used to have that habit. I'm saying, just like somebody, they make candles, like, oh, those are nice little candles. Like, not like, nah, you said, why am I downplaying like the size of what they going on? Even if the candles are really physically small, you know, like still, like they got a big business. Now I'm saying, you wanna speak life into people's stuff.
Exactly. And I feel like that's all it's about, speaking life and saying, like, me personally, I over exaggerate everything. Like, not over exaggerate, but like I try to make people feel good about their stuff. Like, niggas or just starting his rap career, he only dropped one song. I'm like, shit, that's a nice ass one song you got, especially if it's really good. I'm like, that's, hey, like, I'm gonna speak life into you, like, help your shit grow, because that's what I want you to do for me. I'm not gonna say, oh, that's a nice little song you got there. Like, nah.
Yeah, like it's not taking anything away from it, but it just seems like you kind of downplaying it. Like, what you mean, my little song? Like,
exactly.
That song not shorter than nobody else's songs.
Like that shit average length, nigga.
Like, but yeah, man, definitely be able to take what you dish and just don't let nobody play with you on some disrespectful type shit. You know what I'm saying?
At all. Boom. And that's gonna bring us into our next topic. Like, since we already talked about how to really deal with disrespect, because as you get older, like, not that we see more things as disrespectful, but like I feel like, and when you look back at your life, you can see how that could have been disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And so, how do you deal with disrespect in your day-to-day life?
Well, I feel like it's gonna be different depending on where it's coming from. I think you should have a zero tolerance policy for disrespect. How do you deal with it? Now, we got the higher self version of dealing with disrespect, and you got your lower self version. You know, your higher self, you should ignore it, leave situations. Sometimes the strongest thing to do is to walk away, but it just depends, because like that works most situations if it's someone that you don't have to be around. And then you have more so, I won't even say your lower self, because sometimes, especially if it's someone like that works for you or you work with or a relationship, like it has to be some type of discipline or consequence so that disrespect doesn't continue, because it can create a slippery slope just walking away from disrespect sometimes. Like it leaves the door open for more disrespect. Sometimes it can do that. So sometimes you might have to step on a motherfucker, like depending, like how and whatever that means to you. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you might have to. I just think the biggest thing you need to think about before you deal with disrespect with action is, do I accept whatever consequences come from this action? And is this worth it? You know what I'm saying? That can be different for any situation. Like if you have a girl, she's constantly disrespecting you, you're going to have to leave her. You're going to have to leave her. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to put her hands on her. If you have somebody in your class, like say some of y'all guys might be still in school, someone in your class, they constantly disrespect you on a daily basis, you might have to punch him in the face so he understands, like, you're not going to keep disrespecting me, and so other people see, like, what happens when they do disrespect you. Like, sometimes it might have to get physical. Like, someone will tell you to go tell, you know what I'm saying? But to me, you're not gonna gain any more respect from that. Like, now you a snitch and more people disrespecting you. So I think just being conscious of the consequences of what could happen depending on how you deal with it. I do think it is harder to take the high road at times, but sometimes the high road can cause slippery slopes.
I definitely agree. But me personally, how I deal with it, I always give my respect first, and I feel like that should be rule number one. Like, because most people, if you give your respect first, you don't gotta worry about them disrespecting you. Cause like at the end of the day, like I know some of the consequences not worth it.
Yeah,
it's just not. So I feel like as long as you give your respect first, and then they still disrespecting you, then you can go about it. I mean, multiple different ways. If it's a girl, I do feel like once she starts disrespecting you, you gotta leave, because she's just gonna keep That's the slippery slope. I think you meant. Like, it just goes down.
It does, and it's like it is better ways of stuff when dealing with stuff when it comes to men, because like you said, we're not taking shit personal. So if somebody disrespects you, that's a reflection of them. 9 times out of 10, they probably don't respect themselves enough to conduct themselves in the right manner. So you have to keep that in mind too, of the ignorance of the person disrespecting you, and they might not know that you really got them shits and gonna fuck their ass up for doing that. So a lot of times it's really not worth it, and you just control who's in your space to the best of your ability. You know what I'm saying? And control your area, control your bubble. No, it's like there's a difference between someone. If I'm up on stage and someone in the crowd is disrespecting me, I mean, I'm not gonna hop down and fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna start joking on his ass and take the kind of high route and get everybody in the room laughing at him. Now he already extra sensitive. Yeah. Most people that disrespect other people, they're extra sensitive. And now the whole room laughing at him, he probably gonna either leave the room or just start doing some crazy shit, getting out of character even more. And now I look like an even better person.
Really, you definitely do. Every single trip. I was thinking about that. I was about to say, somebody disrespected your boy. That nigga jumped off stage.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like I could do that, or I could turn into humor, or I could just shower him with kindness. And now it's like make him feel bad for disrespecting me. Like, and that can work for certain situations, especially like if it's your friend and they disrespected you the wrong way, and you spinning on them. Show them grace, show them kindness. A lot of times they will feel bad about what they did, and they might get an apology out of it like that. Like, I feel like as a man, it's good to be diplomatic about shit in most situations, whether that's having a conversation, turning into humor, reacting with grace and kindness, or just leaving.
Definitely. I totally agree with that one. And I feel like it just depends on who. Like, if it is one of your friends, like, talk about it, like, most of the time, or like just check that shit. Like, I've checked really it's just that one friend. Like, cause you know when niggas on the game and shit, niggas say some crazy shit. Like, niggas might call you a bitch. Like, yeah. Like, you might, and I've done it too. Like, I've definitely called my friends a bitch on the game. Like, why ain't you shoot, bitch? Like, blow your gun. And exactly, but I'm not meaning it in a disrespectful way. But I can see how it can be taken as disrespectful, and that's one of the things I don't like. Like, don't call me no bitch. Like, I don't care if we just playing on the game or just messing around. You call me a bitch, I'm gonna be like, hey, wash your fucking mouth, nigga. Well, I'm gonna punch you in that shit. Simple as that. And then either it's gonna be an apology or he gonna get punched in his mouth. But that's my friend. So I know how I can talk to. I know how to fucking be diplomatic about the situation. Now, if it's some random dude on the street, I feel like it's always best just to try to walk away. Like, if he's being disrespectful, just be like, all right, guy, you got it. Because how I'm gonna have to do you, it's never worth it. Because even if I beat your ass right here, right now, like, afterwards, I can fucking go to jail, like, anything.
Dealing with so many consequences. And just growing up, like participating and jumping niggas allegedly and things like that. Like,
allegedly, I like
it's
that.
so much shit that can happen. I said this way in one of the earlier episodes. Like, you don't understand. Just, you can hit a nigga one time, but you don't know how he's going to fall, what he going to hit his head on, and all that shit. And, like, that shit can go terrible for you. And just, you felt like you was defending your honor, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what disrespect is. We feel like our honor and our pride has been attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically what it is. And sometimes it's better to just, like I said, handle it with grace and whatever type of way, whatever that means for you, you know?
Exactly. Because even if you do beat that dude's ass, like, you might feel good in the moment, but afterwards it's like, what the fuck did I just gain from just beating this nigga's ass? Like, it still happened. Like, he's still probably gonna do it again. Like, disrespect somebody else. He might not disrespect you again, but maybe he learned his lesson. But still, it's never. I feel like that's never really worth it. Or like end up shooting. Like, and I feel like it's just never worth it. Like, I'm not fighting nobody.
Yeah. Sometimes I say like this though. Sometimes, and this doesn't have to be violence all the time, but sometimes you do have to show a nigga like how powerful you are, or like the strength of your reach and things like that. And and you gain those things through that ability just from being the best version of yourself. Cause like a good example is from the TV show, but like you've been watching BMF lately, right? And when Meech went to Detroit and he had his not Detroit. He went out of state, like Ohio or something, to give it to get his cousin straight and stuff like that. And the people, they tried to finesse him, they tried to rob him. And what he didn't do nothing violent to the nigga, but he showed up at the nigga mama house. He was in there talking to his mama, like I said, like, so when you get to a certain level of power and strength, behind you, a lot of times you don't have to even show violence. It's just the subtle threat that it's not even like a real threat. It's just the subtle show of your strength, which that's how Meech did. Like, damn, how this nigga pop up in my mama's house? How the fuck he found out where he lived? Like, this must be a dude who knows some shit. Like, and that's a more sort of extreme situation. Hopefully, y'all not dibbling and dabbling with dudes that like
one doing coke, pulling up to your mama house.
Yeah, like hopefully you're not dibbling and dabbling with dudes that behave in ways that like they're doing bad business and things like that, to where you gonna have to even do something like that. Because even like me, like even just doing business before, like now all the way like legit businesses and shit, like it's been times where people have stolen from me. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody had something stolen from them before. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can relate to that, and a lot of times the best way is let the forces of the universe handle that thing. I promise you, like a lot of times the way karma work or the way this universe work, they're gonna get back what they gave 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? That's just how shit be working.
Definitely, because karma's a bitch, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's why I try not to do nothing too major. Like, even when it comes down to fucking niggas, bitches, bro. Like, that's like, I feel like people would be thinking that shit's so funny. But that shit not funny when you on the other end of that shit and then somebody fucking your bitch. Like,
yeah, it's like you don't, and a lot of times, especially you don't be knowing dudes and shit like that. You don't know how emotionally fucked up a nigga is, or how like what type of mind state the nigga in. Like, these niggas would kill you behind pussy. Like that's been shown times and times again. I'm pretty sure we all know some dude that's died behind a woman in some form of fashion. So yeah, you should be conducting yourself in a way, because I'll say, like, I've taken from people, I've done bad things, and that's like karma is real. Like I've dealt with it firsthand, and that's why I don't steal. I won't steal from anybody. I don't care what it is, how small or how open it is. I don't care if you brought some people over here, one of them left their wallet on the floor and they had like a bunch of money in it. Actually, that happened to me before when at the other building in the parking lot, I found a wallet. It had about like $300-400 in it. Now I said, young me, oh yeah, that's mine. I done did it before. I done found niggas' wallets and took the money, leave the wallet, all type of shit, and feel good about it. Now I said, you in the moment felt good about it. And now I don't care how much it is, how bad I need money at the time, or whatever the case is. I'm not gonna steal from nobody just because I dealt with the karma.
Exactly. And I feel like we don't think of, like, a lot of times we not think about it, even when it comes down to stealing from stores. Like, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I feel like I used to book on Wawa subs all the time. Like, I feel like it was that era. We was all stealing from Wawa. Bro, but that shit is still not good business. Now they crack down on that shit too.
They crack down. I mean, like, yeah, even when I was younger, like, I've seen niggas get caught up in there or just steal it from anywhere. Like, nah, I'm saying, I don't want to get too deep personally, but I know a whole family that was literally that's how they used to get their groceries. Would be go in the store, go to the register, grab the bags, fill the basket up with groceries, and then between the aisles, put the items in the bags, and that's how they used to get their groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that shit, they end up getting caught. The whole family ended up getting caught. You know what I'm saying? The karma caught back up. They had to deal with the repercussions and things like that, and it's like, it's just not worth it. Like,
never is.
But what creates those situations? Poverty creates those situations, and when people commit crimes or this robbery and things like that. But we Islanders, we trying to be above that. We trying to like be the type of people that can change circumstances for other people, so they don't have to steal and disrespect people in ways and shit like that.
Exactly. Boom. But in that, it doesn't bring us into our next topic, but we're gonna switch topics. Facts. For the simple fact, bro. And I feel like this is something that's really I think we talked about this like 2 days ago. Being comfortable in your own skin. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's some of the most important and detrimental things in life. And I say it's important for the simple fact you should be comfortable with who you are and how you look. Mm-hmm. You definitely should. Because like that's who you are. Like that's what wherever thing you believe in, that's what made you blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But it also can be bad for the simple fact being 500 pounds. Just because you comfortable at 500 pounds doesn't mean you should stay at 500 pounds.
And literally, you might be comfortable in the moment because you grew up kind of fat and you in your 20s still, but as you get older, it's not going to be comfortable. When you can't get up out the bed, when you need help for simple things like using the bathroom and things like that, like it won't be comfortable for too long.
It just won't be. So that's why I said, like, being comfortable is okay. Like, if, like, self-love, really, I think it ties into more self-love. Like, you should love yourself. In every stage of your life, you should love yourself. Like, you should, at any point, you should be able to look in the mirror and be like, I love you. You should really do it every day.
I mean, yeah, you should, but I feel like you should be realistic at the same time. Like, if you 600 pounds and you a dude, like, I feel like not having that love for yourself, that should be some motivation for you, because you can go look in the mirror, just 600 pound self, like, ooh, yeah, I love me, I look so good. At that point, you just fucking lying to yourself. And yeah, maybe lying to yourself, that'll help those psychological processes, but a lot of times it might just keep you in that state. Oh, I like, because that's how they do these women when we, like,
I was saying,
like, yeah, they do the women like that. They tell them, like, oh, yeah, love yourself,
big
it's
and
okay.
beautiful.
Nonsense. Like, yeah, like, they tell them that stuff. So I think for as men, that shit can be very detrimental. Like, if you're fucking anything that you can fix, it's like, yeah, it's certain things. Like, if you have one hand, yeah, you have one hand. Like, it might be some technology that can help you later on or something like that. But as of right now, that's you gonna have to be the best one hand dude you can be. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something you can fix, like your weight, for most people, I don't want to hear about these outliers. And like, I'm talking about for the majority of the people that's overweight, you can do something about it, and it starts with your diet, and it starts with daily exercise. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like, I feel like it is a spectrum, and it's like gray areas in between, because yeah, it's just bodybuilders that don't love themselves and things like that, and that's when it leads into the body dysmorphia and all of that we was talking about. So you do need to love yourself, but be realistic about it. Like, you can say, I love me, I love this person, the spirit I am, but I need to do something about this gut. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you should carry it as a man.
Totally agree. And that's what I said. And I'm about to say, speaking about that, like, that's why I said self-love is important, but be realistic. Like, it's okay to be like, I'm not the cutest man in the world. Like, that's just how it is. Like, some people, like, they got perfect jawlines. Like, they just not perfect, but like their body's just better. Like, they're just better.
Like, genetics play a role, but it's like, be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's all you gotta be. You don't like everybody's not gonna look the same. And to be honest, looks is behind money and status. Like, we like to say LMS, looks, money, status. That's what girls want, but literally looks is kind of last. You know what I'm saying? Because if money and status will supersede that for most women. Not the most genuine ones, but most women, especially over here in the West, the ones we dealing with on a daily basis, money and status will supersede looks.
Exactly. Because, like, when you're really looking at it, like, and I was thinking about, you seen the previews for Creed?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know that other actor's name? Not Michael B. Jordan, but the one.
I don't know his name, but I've seen he's been, because he got a movie coming out, he's been all over the place. Yeah.
And like, I've been seeing like a lot of women like commenting on this, like, oh, he looks so good, blah blah blah, like he's so attractive, and I was like, they're fucking lying. Like we need to pull up a picture and put him in a box. Like, not trying to be a dickhead.
See, I've seen both sides though. I've seen women saying he's attractive, then I've seen women saying he's ugly, but that's where I don't have the Eurocentric mindset when it comes to beauty. It's like, I think a lot of the reasons why the ones that are saying like he's not attractive, I feel like it's because of his features. Like black men, we have bigger, like a lot of black men have bigger noses, bigger lips, and things like that. It's like, to me, beyond that, if you just don't find black features attractive if the ones that kind of saying he's ugly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's the most attractive dude, you know what I'm saying? But like, if I had to compare, like, on some just man shit. Of course, probably most people would say Michael B. Jordan looked better than him.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just say that. Let's just say we all know Michael B. Jordan looks better than him. But it would just be the fact that, like, people were, like, raving, like, how cute this man is, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not hating on the nigga. I'm not saying he ugly. I'm not saying he cute. But at the same time, I know there's more attractive people out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was... it was just the fact that, like...
The status he's getting
like,
from the movie. It's like, these women, they're seeing him damn near every day now. So, they're seeing his body and all of that. To me... What I like, if a woman said because of that more so feminine photo shoot cover he did,
that's
like,
the one.
If they say he wasn't attracted because of that, then I understand that. Now I'm saying because he did look very feminine, like the posture where he's holding his legs,
the rose, it was the flowers,
the flowers, the tightness of his pants. I can't really remember, but it seemed like wasn't he? His facial expression was kind of feminine as well. Like it gave me the same vibes that ASAP Rocky on the cover with Rihanna, with ASAP Rocky looking very feminine on that too.
Gotcha. I'm finding his name now. I guess too. You doing shit?
Yeah, like as far as like just loving yourself and realize like. A lot, even women liking him now, that's literally for the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's because he got a movie coming out and they, like, the social media sites have been kind of pushing him and stuff like that. So that's why we can't take other people's opinions too seriously, because that's how they feel in the moment.
Boom, his name is Jonathan Majors. There we go. His name is Jonathan Majors. And, like, yeah, I'm not saying he's ugly, but I'm just saying, like, status definitely supersedes money. Like,
Yeah, definitely. It's like, if you want to, like, to me, he's, like, a better example would be, like, Flavor Flav, or, like, I said, dude like that. I said, Flavor Flav is probably a perfect example to where it's like, if he wasn't who he was, and he was just walking down the street, definitely wouldn't get as much female attention. And that's most guys, though, like, you know what I'm saying? Because at a certain age, like, yeah, when you're young and you're in high school and stuff like that, you can be just a guy that looks good and don't really got shit going on. But at a certain age, when you meet women, it's going to be, oh, what do you do? That's going to be the first question, one of the first things they want to know. And you trying to be mysterious, but they trying to figure out, like, okay, how much money does he make? How much money does he have? How much money does he spend? Does he like spending? Does he like buying a bunch of shit? Does he like doing this? Does he like doing that? They don't really. The last things they want to know is how you are as a person, and that's why they end up getting fucked over so much. But
you're right about that. But literally, but think about it. If you get that, you keep working on yourself, and you get that status, and you look good. Goodness gracious, you gonna really get any girl you want, bro.
Exactly. And that's why we strive to be the best versions of ourselves every day. Islanders, us up here. Anybody else who happen to see a clip, like, strive to be the best version of yourself and love yourself throughout the process, especially if you're in the process. Like, shit, if you're 600 pounds that you just went to the fucking gym today, nigga, love yourself for that. You know what I'm saying? You understand that you don't love that gut. That's why you going to the gym, but love yourself. You're making progress. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, being pissed off at yourself sometimes just because, like, if you... Like, don't be majorly hard on yourself or you be, like, physically hurting yourself because of you not doing shit. But feel some type of way, like, if you miss a day at the gym for no real reason because you didn't feel like going, you know what I'm saying? You should kind of be pissed off at yourself about it and make sure you do feel something about that. So next time you have that option, I don't really feel like it today. But you know how you felt last time you didn't feel like it didn't go. So, like, yeah, we need that's just a part of being a man, and controlling your emotions and using them to your ability.
Definitely. And self-love is important because you got to think a lot of the bad habits we do, you're just not loving yourself. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're eating some shit of food every fucking day, that's not self-love, bro.
Yeah, it's not. That's like, and then someone would tell you, like, no, eat what you want. Yep. Love yourself no matter what. But to me, if you love your body and you love this temple, this one temple you have, if you really love it, you're going to put the best fuel in it. You're going to make sure you are treating it correctly. You're going to the gym. You're not going to get another body. Like, yeah, we got people doing surgeries and all these things, but we don't know how this is going to affect these people in years from now. and like how their bodies are gonna be looking. Like all these dudes with the ab surgery and stuff like that, like we don't know. We haven't seen a dude that had ab surgery 20 years later. So
Not sure.
you know what I'm saying, we don't know how it's gonna affect them, or if they stop eating and get fat, now they're gonna be fat and then the abs just gonna be sitting on top of that.
Exactly.
To me, that shit look weird. To me, even if you got it done, your body probably looks weird. Like Man Kevo, he got it because his body looked weird, but his body still looks weird though. So, but to him and certain women, because he might look decent at certain angles, it's okay.
Exactly. Like I feel like none of that shit is self-love. Like, don't get me wrong, it's okay to improve yourself. It is okay to prove yourself, but try to do it as naturally as possible.
Yeah, because that unnatural shit is only gonna fuck with your mental even more. It's never gonna be an end to it. If you look at Summer Walker, she's got a lot of work done lately, and people say she looks like a trans.
Damn.
Yeah, I seen on Twitter like people saying she like a jump scare now and all that stuff, and it's like her face didn't look that bad before. To me, I've seen her. I mean, the work done doesn't look that bad. It just looked like she trying to look like every other girl. Her you could tell she had a nose job, but her nose looks uneven as fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it was a very good nose job, but
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Shit, woman, they're gonna be more subtle. Like they're gonna be more easier to get a woman to do stuff like that because they are emotional creatures and move off emotion.
Definitely. And don't get me wrong, if your nose already fucked up, love your fucked up nose.
Yeah, like I can see like if your shit gets like if you have an accident and your shit gets broken and it's way twisted to the side, maybe you might need some reconstruction at that point, or like you get like I hope none of y'all get seriously bad burns to where you need like skin grafts and shit like that. See, it's necessary cosmetic surgery, or say like I've seen shit like people were born with like a weird mouth or like weird ears to where like they couldn't
or they
hear.
got fins. You ever seen the people with like fins?
Yeah,
like,
things like that. Even like the fins, that's not gonna really. I feel like that might make you better in certain aspects. But swimming and catching shit, you might be a little bit better. But like things that if like really affect your life, like I don't know, you got an extra toe that makes you unbalanced, something like to me that's kind of necessary shit, and I feel like that's what the things modern medicine and plastic surgery were developed for. And now it's like, oh I don't like the way my titties sit, so let me go get new ones. And
yeah, that's crazy.
you end up like that girl with one boob now because her shit exploded.
Exactly. Like you don't want that shit in your body when you old. Like I was at like butt implants all day. Bro, I was in a club one time. I seen this girl with a crazy BBL. Like crazy. Like that shit looked ridiculous. I was like, there's no fucking way. But hey, that's what it is. But if we gonna end it on that note, I just want to say thank y'all, man, for watching the video. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment because we love to hear from y'all.
Yes, sir. Leave a comment. We love to hear from y'all. Let us know, like, man, y'all got topics. Hit us up. Y'all want stuff we want to cover. Y'all feel like we said something wrong. Hey, correct us right down there in the comment box. You know what I'm saying? All that shit, man. Major love, major respect. Respect your homies. Respect your mother. Love your people, man. Like to me, it's not enough spoken about. Like too many guys are on like it's too many red pill dudes out here, and like they say a lot about women, a lot of stuff true, a lot of stuff this and that, but love the woman in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing they want. Like especially true feminine woman. That's what they want from you. They want love. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, love the woman in your life. Love yourself most importantly, of course, as men. Purpose first over everything in life. Put your purpose first.
I love that. We love y'all.
Yeah.
We out this bitch.
Yeah.